Man, how are you doing?
Good, good.
I'm fine now. Also, your hair grew up a bit since our last talk.
Yeah.
So, how have you been?
Good, good.
Good? A lot of work?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, actually, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You say that you are taking some days off from work and like just to chill a bit.
yeah. I had some holidays, and then I had like an overtime. I had some overtime compensation.
Oh, like
But I'm back.
you
I'm
back
back.
now? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Back working.
And well, we talked like I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months maybe, and you like went radio silence since then, and you said, oh, I got a lot of work and things like that, and then I was like, damn, a lot of work because they are not answering my messages and things and think. So, we are already live, okay? I'm gonna talk with the people, okay, in Portuguese. So don't worry, I'm not gonna like talk shit or anything. I'm just gonna say goodnight and things. Then we start our interview, okay?
Yeah. No
Ok,
problem.
ok, ok. Galera, tudo bom com vocês? Boa noite, como é que vocês estão? Hoje, aqui, nosso convidado, Philipp Galvan, meu grande amigo, brotherzaço, um profissional excelente, uma pessoa que eu sempre recomendo todos os vídeos deles para vocês. Tá aqui, já estamos online, vocês já estão vendo, já estamos trocando uma ideia. E, cara, eu tô bem animado porque o Philipp, hoje, ele é o nosso primeiro convidado internacional aqui do Papo Paramétrico. E isso é muito legal, por quê? Por duas coisas. Primeiro, estamos crescendo, né? Agora é o worldwide. E também quer dizer que eu vou estar aqui treinando meu inglês, o que é muito bom mesmo. Ok? Eu tô super animado para falar com ele, ele não deve estar entendendo nada que eu tô falando, então eu já vou começar a falar inglês novamente. E o seguinte, para vocês que estão aqui, já deixa um like, já põe um story, já compartilha com a galera essa live aqui, tá? E não se preocupem, se tu não entender muito do que a gente vai falando em inglês, depois eu vou traduzir toda essa live para vocês depois conseguirem consumir ela. Tá bom? Então não se preocupem, beleza? Primeiro aqui vai ser no nosso inglês, depois vai passar toda a edição para eu botar toda a tradução em português. Tá bom? Então, é isso. A partir de agora, falarei inglês, tá? E vocês vão acompanhando aí. Podem botar as perguntas, tudo. Pode botar em português, eu traduzo, não tem nenhum problema. Tá bom? Show de bola. So, Philip, I introduced you. I said that you are my friend and you are really great. I'm really excited to have you here as a guest because you are our first international guest in our channel. We did some interviews with, in Portuguese, like architects and you are our first international guest, and it's really nice. I'm really looking forward to our talk today.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really cool. I have to say, it's my first live YouTube video.
Oh yeah, that's nice, nice,
So
nice, nice.
I never did any live YouTube. So it's actually good exercise because normally, you have a lot of, you can cut a lot out of the video.
Yeah, yeah.
I normally have to cut so many things because it's so boring.
Yeah,
There's so many.
yeah. You are like saying, oh, then you need this component, call it, and then I cut this, just to make the video quicker and better for the people that are seeing. And actually,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people here that are subscribed to your channel, and I'm always like sharing and saying, oh, you want to learn Ladybug or Honeybee or CFD and Eddie or even Rhino, modeling. I always said, go to Philip channel and watch all of his videos because it's great. They are great videos, great content, and well, I mean, you are a great person, a great content creator in Grasshopper, and you are like, and again, really excited to have you here. Okay, really excited. Let me. I didn't like thought about some questions. I'm not into this like answer and like question answer thing. let's just talk and see what happens, where this conversation guides us in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. But
That's
I have a question. I always ask this question for my for my guests. Uh, which shows or movies or things have you been watching lately?
Oh wow, that's a hard question. I watched what I really enjoyed was Dark. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw a couple episodes, but you are
And
watching like the first time or rewatching?
yeah, like well, the first time really, and
Yeah,
I like it because it's better in German. My my mother language is
yeah,
German,
yeah,
and it's a German TV show, and it's just so good in German.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I really liked it, and I
yeah,
like this kind of, it's like science fiction, but it's not action,
yeah,
and I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. It's like a very nice story arc.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
that I really enjoyed. You know.
I've been watching lately. I started actually with my girlfriend. Succession, the name. It's a story about a family that owns like the media and television and things, and they are
Mm.
like fighting for being the next CEO because uh her the like the father, no, it's like four
Mhm,
children.
mhm.
It's like it's adults but they act like children, so children's, and the father, it's like the CEO, and he's like with some health issues, and then like they are all fighting, doing some psychological games and
I
some
see,
things
I see.
to,
Yeah.
yeah. It's really nice, it's really nice. We watched, I think, like 3 episodes, and I was like already hooked up, because it's really really good. Got this
What's the name again? What's the name again?
Succession, like
Okay.
the next one, Succession. I don't know if I'm
Okay.
spelling right, but it's I send you later, okay? Because
Yeah.
and when I think my girlfriend, she said, "Oh, let's watch a Succession because got that Sopranos vibe, Sopranos. Have you
I
watched
know,
it?
I know.
It's perfect, and I love Sopranos, so yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I watched. I also like Narcos, and during summer
Narcos,
I watched Narcos a lot. So it was
yeah,
was very interesting because I didn't know because that all happened when I was like a child or teenager.
yeah,
And
yeah.
at that time, I really didn't, I
Yeah,
didn't know
and
what was.
we always like heard about Pablo Escobar and thing, but we never really know what he did. I always like, I know, well, he's a drug dealer and things, and he's like he owns like the entire country, but I didn't know exactly what his deal. And the
Yeah.
Narcos series, we got Wagner Moura, who is like a Brazilian actor,
Mhm.
and he's like really famous here, and he's like now he's worldwide, he's like in a lot of movies and shows. So yeah, okay, so you've been watching is Strack, Strack, is that right? The name
Strike?
Stark, just so I
Oh,
can
no, no, dark, dark.
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 Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
Dark.
Mhm.
So how have you been? No, I'm kidding. Philip, I
Well,
was say it,
no,
please.
go
Go
ahead.
on.
Yeah, I was thinking because you asked me to prepare a bit, so I prepared some.
Yeah, exactly. You prepare like a.
But we can do it later or now.
Yeah, I'm just
Whenever.
like I just want to ask you, and that was what I'm going to ask. Your background, because I was looking to your LinkedIn and where you graduated, and and I saw something interesting. You are like a landscape designer, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you graduated as landscape designer.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm
So,
a. Well, actually, I'm. So I graduated as a artist.
Yeah,
With,
because it's like Vienna University of Arts or something. Yeah, if I'm not right.
yes, it's Vienna, the Applied Arts University in
Yeah,
Vienna.
yeah, applied arts.
But
Yeah.
but it's very focused on design, really. And in my class was, so I was studying in a class, and next to my class was Zaha Hadid.
You're
So
kidding?
there's
Seriously?
Zaha Zaha Hadid class is also in Vienna, and
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
have.
yeah.
And I was next door, and I always so I was studying landscape design and landscape art, really. And I was always like, I had some friends in that other class, of course, and I always was very intrigued by what they do with their 3D modeling, and
Yeah,
that's actually how I really got to 3D modeling.
yeah.
But I'm still a landscape architect, so that's my profession.
Yeah, but I mean, you graduated as architect also? It's like your first, you
No,
mainly no, just landscape designer.
landscape landscape designer, but the title is Master of Arts. That's how the
Oh,
title is.
yeah, got it. So it's
And
it's really
yeah,
different from what we are used to here in Brazil, like we are
yeah,
architects, and then I got like a specialization in landscape design.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, got it. So you did this like entirely just like from the beginning landscape, but you are graduated as arts master. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a master. It's like a master degree.
Okay, okay.
Master degree, but there's no uh, at that time there was no really master degree exactly for landscape.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so because my professor. So I was studying actually landscape planning on a different university before, like 4 years, and then I changed to that university because it was the other one was, I felt it was too technical. I
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
I'm not, and I had some art background before already. So
yeah.
I did. I was in college where I did ceramics. I
Yeah,
designed
yeah.
ceramics,
I,
and then
I
and then
saw
I
it you LinkedIn. Sorry, because you like write something about I was really into ceramics or something. You write in your LinkedIn. I read it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Did I? I really forgot already.
Yeah,
I should.
you write about something I couldn't stand like history, but I love it like ceramics or something. You write something related to your LinkedIn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, go on, go on.
Yeah, and then actually, so my professor is actually so he is not an landscape designer either. He was like a graphic designer who created a class in the university which was called free design, and nobody knew what that really is. And then we're like 8 students there, and then he changed it to landscape art, and then we learned
Oh,
about, so we did like landscape projects. That was actually pretty cool because he was very open minded to all kinds of ideas, and I guess that helped me a lot later on,
yeah.
you know.
It was like something like really experimental in the time. Like you guys do anything and try to figure out from that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly like that. I
because
mean,
because I think I forgot that architecture school in London, that big one. I forgot the name.
the AA.
Yeah, sorry, the AA. I saw like in the Zaha documentary. They were really crazy about it. It was like really experimental. They do anything and then they start from there and try to reach something. It's right, really, really crazy in a way. So it was like
Yeah,
that, like really open, free design, as you said.
um, it was maybe less productive. It was it, it was you could explore a lot, but it was not always like that you come up with, because I know when you look at the works of the AA students, it's a lot of stuff. It's like a lot of graphics, and it's a lot of things. Back then, I mean, first of all, we did a lot with hand drawing, and like,
Yeah.
and then we actually did some real landscape
projects.
gardening in 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 the botanical garden in Vienna. So we did like real like a lot of activities, let's say, rather than trying to make a nice graphics. I'm not saying that that's not good. That's also
Yeah,
very important.
yeah.
But it was different then at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, how would you do like some graphic things with landscape? You may say it, but I don't know how you do it. I think I always thought about landscape like a really hands-on thing, you know?
Mm.
Like you can sketch, you can do this, but I always thought about going like go to the site, see the things, see around, see the plants and things. I always thought
Yeah.
about in this way.
Well, I can actually show you something. I prepared some
Yeah,
stuff.
if you can just share a screen. I think that's like here in Meet. It's like under
Let me
there's a
see.
hand, and then like the right side, like it's a square with the arrow.
Yeah, I think I have it.
Yeah, okay. Again, feel free, do your thing. I you got my approval. Okay, we can see it now.
You can see it now.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So I can show a bit. Oh, that's me. See,
Yeah.
that's me. So I actually, so after my university, I actually had no really some, I had no perspective really. What should I do? And then a colleague of mine, which studied with me in Vienna, a Chinese guy, called me and said, "Do you want to work in Shanghai?"
Yeah,
And
you work like
and
a couple years in China, right?
yeah, I was almost 9 years. I think 9 years I was
9 years. Damn.
there. And this was my portfolio when I came to London, actually. And I just showed some work which I did back then. This was my first park I designed.
Yeah.
And and yeah, it was like completely different what I did in the university. So I had to really use, AutoCAD and Photoshop and all these software, which I had to learn very quickly.
Yeah.
But it's built now, and you can actually see it on the images that that's how it looks like. Um, but I already had this idea of like a network, creating a network in the landscape,
Yeah.
and then filling these patches with different plants. That was kind of the idea, and that kind of went on in the other projects. I will not show everything, but I'm just flipping through here.
No, but it looks great actually.
So that was one in near Kunming. This is like a city in West China, in the
Oh,
mountainous areas. And
Philip, sorry
yeah,
to interrupt.
I went really wild, with the graphic design.
Philip,
Yeah,
sorry. Can you like put the presentation in full screen?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
at
sure.
view. Yeah. Thank you. Someone in the chat
Better?
asked. Better.
Yes,
Yeah.
better.
Okay, sorry, go
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So here I could really like play around. In China, they're very open to new ideas. So I was like, I had the chance to really just dig in and then just draw crazy lines and everything. That was pretty um, amazing, but it was also hard work. I mean, we worked every day basically.
Yeah.
There was no free time. No weekend was free. Nothing. It was crazy.
Damn.
And then I discovered Rhino, and I discovered Grasshopper,
Oh.
and I got really intrigued by Grasshopper and how it works. And of course, I knew a bit of modeling already in Rhino,
Yeah.
but Grasshopper was like, wow, that's amazing. And this project I did here, that was just like a test on my own, where I just used like the sun angle, to
Oh.
either open these cones or close them. So basically, depending on the angle of the sun, these cones were either closed or open. I mean, this is nothing special now. It's like, you know, but back then for me it was like mind opening.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I think my first like exercise in Grasshopper, it was like a point attractor, and I was like mind blowing, like I can do this, you know. But yeah, today we are like, yeah, it's cool.
And then I did actually a whole landscape with Voronoi kind of pattern. So I did. So I placed. So I had all the buildings there and all the entrances. And so I placed points in the landscape to the entrances.
Yeah.
To create this Voronoi system. I mean, again, now it's somebody who learns Grasshopper said, yeah, Voronoi, okay.
Yeah, but, like when you pick the component and you got that message, you know. do you know the message? Like when you like take the component and you got like Voronoi addiction, something like that. Like that Easter egg, you know. Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty cool idea. I mean, I haven't seen any landscape made like that, at least not at that time.
Yeah.
And again, I thought like, can I use these patches and you know, put different things in it? One time it's water, one time it's planting, forest, grass, and so on.
Yeah.
So there you can see how you can use graphic within landscape design.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, looks cool, you know. It's not like a Voronoi, like, I don't know, wall or something, you know. It's a landscape. Well, I mean, simple, but looks cool. I think that's the end goal, you know.
Yeah. Well, so when I was in Beijing, I worked in Beijing for a while, and then I had the urge to move to a different company. So I actually joined a German company, and we did this huge kind of park with a man-made lake and so on.
Yeah.
So there I spent like around 3 years or 4 years doing this project, and there I really learned about landscape design, like proper landscape architecture. So I had to go on the site and really draw a lot of plans, discuss with the client, presentation to the client, and so on. So there, I really learned the craft of landscape architecture.
Yeah.
That was in 2010, I think, 2010, 2013. And then I used on a bigger, like a city scale kind of planning. That was actually a competition in South China, where we used Grasshopper to understand which of the plots of the land are better or less good. That was actually quite interesting. So we basically, based on the distance to water or nature, we gave them a rating and then colored these different plots with color them based on our key on what we think is better and what is not good. That was pretty interesting as well. And again, I was super happy to use Grasshopper again because you don't so often the chance to actually use it. As a landscape architect, right? Okay, I just flip through here quickly.
Beautiful graphics, actually, beautiful graphics.
That was a competition I won together with a friend of mine in Italy, and he was designing these buildings. It's a wood tower, and basically I designed the garden and also did the renderings. So I also did a lot of renderings, of course, render jobs when I was in China, and so he always asked me if he needs some renderings. He always asked me, "Hey, Philipp, can you do it?" You know.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool that we won, but it was not built, sadly.
No. Yeah. Sadly.
So I did a landscape design also again with, I tried to do it a different way, not the typical kind of landscape with,
Yeah.
just using his module and try to play with it in the landscape.
Yeah.
Was the main idea here. That's a free work where I tried to use the anaglyph, like 3D glasses.
Yeah.
So that's actually when I did my portfolio. I thought like it would be cool if when I print this out, then I give them like a anaglyph 3D glass in the portfolio that they can take it and see the thing in 3D. As a very low budget 3D VR kind of
Yeah.
version. That was, I don't know, I just did it for myself. I was like thinking about, wow, what if I want to have a house? I might not do it like this again,
Yeah.
but I was thinking, I was so fascinated about the tea mountains in China. I visited the tea mountains, and it was just an amazing experience. And then I thought like about what if a landscape architect is doing a building? How does that look like?
Yeah.
Lots. Then in another project I used Grasshopper again to test where from the mountain you might have the most water coming down during a rainfall. So that was like a bigger master plan exercise where the city basically asked us to design the whole river or the whole lake front, and we were thinking what would be the best way to see where the most water will come down, and can we use that in our design. Um, that was also quite interesting. That again brought me forward with, of course, Grasshopper and so on.
Yeah. Did you use it like Python or C# or something, or just only Grasshopper?
No, there was like so it was the help with a looper.
Oh, like Anemone
Somebody,
and yeah.
yeah, with, and then yeah, I cannot remember exactly now how it went.
No, that's cool. That's cool. But the
But I think
graphics, like, awesome.
it was I think with the Anemone. Yeah, this like a plugin, it's a very small plugin back then where you just loop through,
Yeah.
and there was some guys already did a similar kind of script, and I just basically borrowed it and tweaked it to so it works for me.
Yeah.
So it's not always that I write all my scripts myself. I you borrow from people.
Yeah, a lot. You borrow a lot.
That's like a design for a bridge.
Nice.
Also using Grasshopper a lot here.
Yeah. And I mean, Philip, it's all of what are you showing us like incredible, like I mean, you are really great, really great architects. What I got this. I'm thinking now, how it's your like process in design? Where are your inspirations or like, methodology? Can you like talk a bit for us?
Yeah. Well,
If you want, of course.
well, that's actually no. I if I go further a bit, because that's maybe coming up with the Heatherwick Studio projects. So when
Okay.
so that was basically, I was back in Shanghai. I was like working in Shanghai, and then my wife, she got a bit sick, and we thought, let's go back to Europe, and
Yeah.
then I also saw this incredible project, and I just switch here a bit. Wait,
Yeah. Okay.
let me
Yeah.
switch here. I mean, I guess everybody knows this
Yeah.
project.
Yeah. I did a video about this project in Grasshopper in my
Yes, I
old
saw.
channel, and I even asked you how they did this thing like this, you know. But yeah, I know this project. Really beautiful.
But I think I can explain a lot about the methodology, not through this project, but that leads up to the story. You know?
Okay. Go on.
So when I was that was in 2010, I visited Shanghai for the expo, and I saw this building, and I was like, wow! I mean, this is amazing. This is like I've never seen something like this before. This is just incredible, you know, and also how it's presented, you know, as a whole with the landscape and with the it's just really incredible. I looked it up and said, who is that? You know, okay, it's Heatherwick Studio. And I was like, wow, Heatherwick Studio. Back then, I never thought I will ever work in Heatherwick Studio. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that was just very far away. You know, but then in 2014, when we decided to go back to London, I was looking for jobs in London, and yeah, Heatherwick Studio, they got my portfolio, the same what I just showed you, and they asked and they invited me to work with them, and I basically since then work on this project.
Yeah, you showed me. Yeah.
So, and back to your question about methodology, really here it's a very tough project, and it's still ongoing, and the idea was already there, the design was there, but they really asked me for my knowledge as a landscape architect, how can we make the planting really as we wanted to have it in our renderings, you know. So there was a consultant on board who did the planting, but it was not yet so refined that it worked really. So they asked me to study that, and that kind of brought me then to Ladybug later on. But what I did did on that building was like I took the model and I did a sun study. I did a sun study with V-Ray. I used V-Ray, and I did like, I don't know, for each month I did every week I did a rendering for several hours of the day. Like, you know, like one at 7 o'clock in the morning, one at
Yeah.
9 o'clock, and then I overlaid the whole year to know where you have very little sunlight,
The
where you have more.
whole year?
Yes,
You
I
kidding?
overlaid the whole year in Photoshop. I overlaid in Photoshop because I didn't have the software to
Yeah.
actually. I didn't have the software, and then with that kind of overlay, I knew, okay, this column has very little sunlight, that column has a lot of sunlight, and from that I knew which kind of species I can introduce to the columns. You know, that it was just and in a way, what was nice with that is that basically I took also the idea that through elevation there's a change of what kind of species you can use. So you have the shadow analysis, and then you have the elevation, and then we also looked at the wind, on which direction the wind is stronger. So you have like cold wind in from north in winter, and then you have hot wind from summer from the south, and then you have some other wind directions where there's less wind coming. So we also took that into account, and that kind of created the idea, okay, free. Well, that's maybe this goes too far, but I had the idea, okay, I can introduce that amount of different species, and they all basically choose their own pots because they exactly fit to that pot, to that kind of very specific climate on this specific column. So that was that. So just to think about the methodology of a project, and so you need to like really think very hard on what works and what not.
Yeah. You mentioned Ladybug, and one of my students called it Tarcísio. He said the Ladybug Master.
Well, back then I was not, and you know, to be honest, I teach Ladybug, but I'm not the master. Like that, I mean, for sure there are people who know way more than me and about Ladybug. I really, but the good thing with this channel is that you actually learn yourself so much.
Yeah.
So every time when I start a new kind of video, I look up things a lot myself. I need to refresh my knowledge and check how does that work, especially with the wind analysis stuff. I really had to like learn it, because
Yeah.
I wanted to know it myself, and then I thought, okay, let's just share it right away.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, no, like push the boundaries, like learn something new, like teach something new to. And as we talked about this, like in our last conversation, I learned more grasshopper teaching than like seeing videos or related, like websites and things. I deeply believe that when you teach something on the internet or in university or something, you learn more about the subject, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and now we got like me and you, we got this like knowledge, and when we share like in the internet, YouTube, like we learn more not only about the tool but about ourselves also. Just
Maybe
one more thing, Tarcísio,
yeah.
that same guy who said Ladybug Master, he he's in the chat, and he said he did the like sun like, let me translate. He did a simulation of like sun panels in his stadium, his
Yeah, yeah.
with your videos, he said.
And
And well, I think it worked.
it didn't work.
No,
That
it worked last because he was talking to us like in our group. He's like really doing well in his final project. So yeah, he
awesome.
said that he used our video.
Perfect. Great.
Go on.
What
Sorry.
else? What else? Yeah, that was actually one of my latest the project where I was involved. I mean, I'm really grateful to be part of these projects. Um, this is like a competition we won. This is for El Corte Inglés in Madrid, and I was really honored that I can be part of a project like this. I did only the planting really, so um, so the architects did the design and what I find great with this project is, so first of all, this is like it's a new build. It's a very very low carbon footprint footprint building. So it's I think it even creates more. So what I understood from the engineer is like it creates more energy through the solar panels on the roof than it actually needs.
Mm,
And yeah, I think it's one of the most sustainable projects we did with the studio did so far.
yeah.
So my again was like, can we create, can we add more green, or like can we really create nature inside the city? That was,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Looks
design
really,
methodology,
really, really great. Beautiful.
design methodology. What I try to do really is like I try to keep myself busy with smaller like things, and different things which go away from landscape design, and that's why also the YouTube channel basically helps me. It's like a soundboard, where you can try
Yeah.
different things. And because in the studio I don't need to do I mean, I brought Ladybug into the studio and now we have several people who use it. But for a lot of projects we have our engineers, and they are much more efficient and they know more about how to do it, and it's also very important that they verify what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the studio we use, or in my YouTube channel, of course, then I want to use it because it's interesting.
Yeah.
But what I also do sometimes, I join this, I don't know if you know this one. This is like a, that's all, it's like companies can post small competitions. And for example, I did like a packaging for the Fila brand. They did some perfume bottles, and I did. Yeah, I was like, okay, I want to join this competition. Let's just join it. And sometimes I do these things because I know, okay, this is like a small design task. I can maybe do it on a week. And I used cannot. I use Blender mostly here actually because I like Blender for rendering. It's quite nice to render stuff.
Nice, looks great.
Or I did that's very funny. It's a Barilla. They were asking for new noodle shapes, and I thought like, yeah, let's do a noodle shape.
Why not? Let me do some noodle shapes.
And I call this like cupolini. It's like a cube.
Yeah, and Lini from,
Yeah.
Nice.
These.
Nice.
So I kind of, thinking outside the box is actually pretty good as when you want to do design.
Yeah.
And not do all the time the same. You just do different. I did another one, the grigliane. It's like it's like a lasagne, but it's like a grid. And
Yeah.
I thought you can do a lot of cool things with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Really nice. So and I even talked about this in my Instagram. And you cook also, yeah? Like you got some cooking videos in your Instagram. Sorry,
Yeah.
no, and YouTube.
Yes, I love cooking. Yeah, and I love flavor combinations. That's very interesting. How which flavors work together. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But what happened to me recently? I got COVID.
Yeah. You said.
And that was the craziest thing about that was that I lost my sense of smell completely.
Yeah. I mean,
And
should
so
have been hard to get through, like without smelling anything.
yeah, cooking was really hard.
Yeah.
When and coffee tastes like it tastes like bitter water. It was very strange. I wanted to say something. Yeah,
we were talking about cooking videos.
Yes, cooking videos. But when you lose the smell, you still have the taste, and the taste then is only sweet, salty, sour, spicy, and umami flavor. So we ate the miso soup the whole time.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing which has some taste.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
And I mean, in your almost 10 years in like China, you must have like you try a lot of food and smells and tastes, so I mean, with your not only design background but your cooking background, should have been hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, traveling opens your mind also when you get to introduce to so many things.
Yeah.
And in China I had to working like presenting in front of the clients, they always want to introduce you to some weird food.
Yeah.
Always it was not always like pleasant.
Yeah. And I mean, you
like
have to do it because it's the client.
Yeah, you have to do it, and then you have to drink a lot.
They drink a lot.
They drink a lot. Oh my god! And because their business kind of theory is that you only talk the truth when you're drunk.
Yeah.
So
they
try
right.
to make you drunk, and it's really tough. And we had like every weekend we had some weird client meetings. that was, and then I quit this job because
You
it
you,
was
you,
just,
you, you couldn't stand the smell of alcohol anymore.
I couldn't anymore. I couldn't.
You were like,
I
no, I can't do it anymore. Sorry.
because it was, when we in Austria, when we go, we drink, we go for a beer, and we eat something, we eat
Yeah.
and we drink, and they don't eat anything. They just
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah. And I might say, here in Brazil, they only drink. We only drink, only drink. But I'm friend of a Russian family who lives here in Brazil, and I understand why they drink vodka a lot, because they eat a lot also, so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can like drink a bottle of vodka, and they were like, okay, now I'm gonna sleep and that's it. See ya, you know. And no, but here in Brazil, they only drink, only drink. I never saw like a. I know we got some barbecues and things, so you eat and drink, but I don't know if I'm gonna like after work, invite some friends to a pub, a bar, something,
yeah.
only drink, and then you well, you got wasted after.
Yeah, yeah,
I want to ask you something because I
yeah, yeah.
saw some of your designs, and you as a landscape designer, you might know the one that I'm going to ask, but do you know the works of Burle Marx?
Hmm.
He's a landscape designer from Brazil,
Not
like
sure.
like in the modernist era.
No, well, probably from when I see it, maybe. When,
Let me like search here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me.
I'm gonna let me. Okay, I need to share my screen because I'm sharing my screen now. Okay, let me figure out how I'm gonna do this. Okay, okay. Uh, got it.
Or should I try?
No, 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 no. I'm already sharing. So, this is the guy, Burle Marx, and he's from Brazil, and he do this kind of shapes, this really
Ah,
organic
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that
shapes,
one. Yes,
you know, and he's
yes,
like
I know that one.
the biggest here in Brazil, like and worldwide actually, but he's like a god in landscape design because we got like
Yeah, yeah,
Oscar Niemeyer, from modernism era. We got Lucio Costa also from modernism era, and then we got like Burle Marx, and I mean in comparison with others, he was the more like parametric of them. A lot of the works, and he was a really good landscape designer, really, really, really good. If
yeah.
I'm,
It's very nice. I well, from the name I didn't know, but I know his work. I
yeah,
saw, especially the one you just showed me. That this one,
yeah,
the fourth image here.
this one,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's very famous. That we use that a lot also in our, like, we use a lot of like reference images when we show things to the client, when we show concepts to the client. Oh yeah, I also know that one.
from Rio de Janeiro, Praia de Ipanema, Ipanema's
Yes,
beach,
yes,
and he
yeah,
did all this like walkway. It's like the entire Rio de Janeiro almost, and
Hmm.
and he we call the
That's that's also very traditional, like the paving. No, this is like, I saw that a lot in Portugal as well.
yeah, yeah, because it's like these small rocks here, they call it pedra portuguesa, Portuguese rock, and it's like it's from Portugal, and then he using this projects a lot, a lot.
Hmm.
So yeah, Burle Marx, our guy here. Oh my God, let me unshare my screen now. It's our guy here in Brazil. Another question, and this is from our like audience. They ask what you think about Brazil. Like, let me not only Brazilian architecture, but like in general Brazilian design. What comes to your mind when I ask you this? Be honest. You can be honest. You know, we are friends.
can
You
be,
know, you can be honest. For real.
I
For real.
can. I actually don't know much.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's really a shame. I need to I need to study it. I need to actually
Yeah.
look at it
Well,
because
you
I
could.
mean I in general I know that. So when you look at like let's say Latin American kind of design, or I mean I don't know really any architects because I'm a landscape architect.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing happened that I went to China instead of like South America, and or America, even America. I went just once for my wedding. so but I always wanted to go, because it's like what I love is Spanish music, like
Yeah.
I love Spanish music. That's why one of the reasons why I learned guitar,
Yeah.
and 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 like this feeling and the food, and I love the Mexican food, for example. I
Yeah.
love it
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
a lot, and I know these like very vibrant colors also in the landscape architecture.
Yeah.
I love these things, but the, if you don't go there, then it's hard for you to know. You don't know the names, or
Yeah.
you don't know places, and yeah, I it's sorry guys, I don't know anything.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine because I'm thinking now we are going to make a compilation for you with Brazilian and Latin
Yeah,
America architects.
that's great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There is one of my students and friends call it Jacurino, and he said it's not a shame. You're not guilty because of this. We here let's say Brazil, because I live in Brazil. I can't say for Latin America entirely, but it's been a while since we've we were in the radar of something, like design
Yeah,
and architecture. It's
because
been a
because
while.
because you told me that last time, also when we had our first chat, that you said that, yeah, it's there was like a phase where it was very present, like
Yeah,
architecture was very present, and but then it's now just always the same, and it didn't kind of
yeah,
evolve.
yeah. Till today we are like inspired by some guys in we are inspired by architects that created solutions for the 80s, for the 70s, 16s, and till today, like 2021, we are like inspired by this kind of guys. There is a
Mm.
really like big discussion like nowadays in our architecture community that all of the competitions, like I don't know if like worldwide there is like private competition and public competition. I think yeah, yes, right. There is some private client that do like
Yeah, yeah,
inside.
yeah,
Okay, okay. Like, but I mean the public one, like for like I don't know, government and things like that, government
yeah.
buildings. I mean, the discussion is that we are just doing the same thing for a while now. We do like a really big warehouse with glass and steel structure, and that's it. That's our architecture today. And I'm not even kidding. One of my friends call it Paulo Paulo Duca. He's a really great architect. He was one of the first guys to bring grasshopper to Brazil, and not even kidding. Okay, and he writes article talking about this, about how we like stopped in time. We were always like, again, we've been doing the same thing a while. If you like search the last 5, 10 competitions public again, it's always
Yeah.
the same. The answer, it's always the same, and there is something wrong about this. And so yeah,
Mm.
it's not a shame, that you don't know, because we ain't doing anything like great. And
but
it's
but
the truth. It's the truth.
but I would know if I would like to know if sustainability is a theme. Is that something
Yeah,
in Brazil?
yeah, yeah. Well, we are like not we are not like crossing the line with design and shapes and something, no, but like the sustainability aspect of a building, it's like really it's a huge deal, today
Yeah,
in the universities. And I mean, it's good, we need to think about these things when we are like in the design process, but not for a warehouse for the last 5, 10 years, you know.
I I what I like what I learned from Thomas Heatherwick was that
Do you
he
know him like personally? Like
yeah
you
yeah he
guys, you guys drink like together?
no
No,
no
I
no
mean not like as a friends, but like I know like a office party or something, and you were like, oh yeah, hi Thomas.
yeah, so we are like 200 people in
Yeah,
the
there's a lot of
studio,
people now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and but Thomas is involved in every project, so
Every project.
and he knows everybody personally, so yeah
Personally, like he knows everyone, even the
yeah
intern, the new guy.
he knows who comes in. Yeah, he's very thorough there.
Yeah,
But but what he said about sustainability is very interesting. He said that beauty is it should be actually considered as a sustainability value.
yeah,
Why? Because if something is beautiful, it will be used longer, and people care about it.
yeah, yeah,
Because if you build a structure, a steel structure with glass, and you build it very sustainable, but it's last only for 5 years or 10 years maybe, then it's not sustainable.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
And and so I think design plays a role there, definitely.
Definitely.
So if you make something nice, and maybe you use, I need to be careful what I'm saying, but if you make something nice, the chance that you use it longer is definitely there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a nice uh insight, you know. This thing that we need to take these things in our design process. I like this one actually. I'm thinking about this right now, and I'm like, it's make total sense, total sense.
I'm not saying that new technology is bad or something, but
No, 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 no.
I think that's a very important aspect. Is
Yeah,
is is definitely that, because when you look at like old buildings, which have survived for a long time, they have survived because they are beautiful.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
And people cared about it, and people maintain them. And when you go to Vienna, we have this very old, nice, old town, like city center, with
Yeah,
all these buildings, and they're all like 100 years, 200 years, 150 years old, and they are there because they're built, and they will stand for another 100 years probably.
yeah, yeah. It's
And but the new buildings, they are there for like 30 years, and then you have to remove them because they're broken.
yeah,
It's I think that's a big problem.
yeah. Actually, s- in a way, speechless because it's got into my mind right now. This thing I didn't know this, and it's make a lot of sense. Let me ask you, since we are talking about Heatherwick, uh, what you guys doing lately? I mean,
No,
no, you can talk. Yeah, yeah, you can talk. You can talk. I'm kidding.
no,
I'm kidding.
I well, we have many projects ongoing, but
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
really.
No, I'm
And I'm
just
not
joking.
I'm not also involved in all of them.
Yeah,
I I work on some projects.
yeah,
We have project in China, but yeah, I can't really
Yeah,
say.
no, that's fine. I'm just fooling around. But I got a question from Fernando, and he
Yeah.
lives in Portugal. He asks on Instagram, which software do you guys, which softwares, well, you guys at Heatherwicks, do you like in the
So
you
we
guys use
we
in the office?
yeah, we use Rhino for designing. We use Rhino. We use Revit
Yeah,
for like stages after the like schematic design. And so we have concept, schematic design, detail design. In detail design, we use, depending on the project, of course, but we use Revit together with Rhino.
yeah,
We have our own like a team which they try to figure out how to connect Rhino with Revit, so you can model in Rhino, but it translates automatically into Revit. You know.
yeah. You guys have been using Rhino inside Revit?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
Well, not we were
Not
testing it.
officially, not officially, but like in the testing some things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we used. So we have this computational team. They always test different things,
Yeah,
which I'm also part of, and that's why I brought like Ladybug into the studio, and you know, so we have this team of like, let's say 10 people who do like computational design, and they also test different things. But we also use ANSYS, for example.
yeah, yeah,
We use, of course, you know, Adobe
yeah. The whole thing.
Illustrator, Photoshop.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What else? We have a maker. We have a maker studio, and we have a complete makers workshop in the studio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they use other software to like for 3D modeling, for 3D printing,
Yeah.
CNC kind of cutting, and I don't know, laser cutting and stuff like that.
And
So
this like makers like thing, it's like more for prototyping, or it's just like for some models or something.
models, prototyping, yes, both. You know,
Both? Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But scale models mostly. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
so
even prototyping some, like, I don't know, small structures, like small connections or something, like in wood. I don't know, just guessing.
yeah, wood, very often wood,
Yeah.
but depending on the project, of course.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I mean, for we have, for example, a scale model of the pavilion, like I don't know, like 2 meters or 1.5 meters, and it's like yeah, it also has acrylic sticks. It's the same
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the real one. It doesn't have the seeds inside. No, it doesn't
No,
have
no,
that.
no, but it would be hard.
And it's a cut section. You know, it's like a
I
section.
think I saw this picture in
Yeah.
Google or something. I was searching about the pavilion and I saw, but I didn't know it's like it's huge. But I saw it's like a section with all the things. Really nice.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There is another question, a more technical one. In the project like development in like in general, you know, like when a client or you guys like start a new competition or something, which is the more used, let's say, language? It's Grasshopper, it's Python, it's C sharp, or other?
Python. There are not many people who know Python in the studio.
Yeah,
Uh, C sharp. There's some they know a bit, but very little. So there's some specialists who know a bit C sharp.
yeah.
We use a lot of Grasshopper.
A lot of Grasshopper. Yeah,
Yeah, we use a lot of Grasshopper, but not always. Sometimes not. You know, it helps to like generate things, but sometimes you also can go too much. You can go too far. You know, sometimes it's good to do some handwork, some manual.
yeah, yeah.
you know, because sometimes you end up with things they always look the same.
Yeah.
You know, random boxes, random, you know. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you need to be. I mean, Grasshopper is super nice to generate things very quickly, but then you need to be careful that they don't look generic. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a bit of a tricky kind of. You need to find the balance between that, I think.
Yeah. There is that thing that only like handwork does, you know. Grasshopper sometimes may, when you're using a lot of like Grasshopper daily, sometimes even myself I feel like it's like really general what I'm doing, and I was like, no, I need to try anything different, you know, like try Rhino more often. And there's something that always been saying in the last 2 years of YouTube, I may say. There's some things that Grasshopper are it's really good. It's really good. But there's some things that it's not worth it to do in Grasshopper, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
and you don't have to do anything. Actually, sorry, you don't have to do everything in Grasshopper. You
yeah.
know,
Agree.
you don't need to. It's not an obligation.
It's exactly there. Actually, there are a lot of very cool commands in Rhino itself,
Yeah, yeah,
which you know, when I started this playlist about beginners, Rhino beginners course. You
yeah.
know, I was thinking, let's go through each of the different
Tabs
tools
and
and
tools. Yeah,
look at all the tools. You know,
yeah,
let's really look at it. And I realized myself that, man, why I'm not using this? You know,
yeah. Exactly.
because you know, you never use it, and then people like to jump into Grasshopper because Grasshopper is really cool to know, and you know, it does so many things automatically. You know,
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about. But then you realize, okay, that would be much more easier in Rhino
In Rhino,
itself.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
mean, you start using Grasshopper, you just jump in right straight to Grasshopper, and you think, no, I can do a lot of things in Grasshopper, you know. But then when you start to look at Rhino, you know, and all of the commands, and you know that Grasshopper it's like this this much, you know. Grasshopper it's really good, it's really nice. He can handle a lot of complexity, you know, and a lot of data. But Rhino, he can do a lot of things, a lot of
yes,
things, and
yeah, I
that's a good thing, you know, because we can like call these commands and things from Python or C sharp through
yeah,
Grasshopper,
yeah.
and
Mm.
sometimes you know that things that you don't have in Grasshopper, you can do it by your own in Python. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, agree.
yeah. Uh, Jacurino again, he comment, accidental events in the handmake work are fundamental.
Yes, I agree. Actually,
That's
I just wanted to say that we do a lot of uh, like models, like physical models. Even
yeah,
during the design process, I myself do a lot of sketching. I do a lot of hand sketching,
yeah.
like crazy. You know, I because that really the hand paper connection. It's like
Yeah,
it feels like a direct connection from the brain to the hand to the paper,
exactly, exactly.
and and something some I see it especially with younger people joining or like working with me. I see that they want to go into Rhino and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Grasshopper
exactly.
and when I say just sketch it, you know, it will help
Yeah,
you.
yeah, and
They don't want to do it. It's and I think sketching is just so good because it helps you to think, you know, and
yeah,
then later on you will be able to build it or model it in Rhino or Grasshopper much easier, you know.
much easier. Yeah, because you are like figuring out the steps in a way, you know, to build a thing. And in your sketching, you are like going into this process, you know, into these steps. There's a funny thing that happened me, like, I don't know, maybe last year or last quarter of a year, I don't know. A guy, I don't know, I think it was a student, something. He came into my Instagram and he asked, okay, if you're using like visual programming to build your like projects and like designs, do you sketch till today, or you're like you do everything like entirely in Grasshopper? And I was like, yeah, I sketch. Nothing, anything changed. You know, I still sketching till today. I need to sketch some things like to get things straight. You know, because it's like it's essential. You know, we need to like go to this design process, and you know, like your digital, yeah,
The only thing changed is that's my paper is
exactly,
black.
exactly,
My
exactly,
paper is black, and I have you
yeah,
know, I
yeah,
draw in
exactly.
directly in the computer.
It's easier
Mm.
today, you know. We can like sketch like
Yeah.
to in Photoshop or Illustrator, I don't know, but the process are still the same, you know. Nothing has changed. uh Kiani
Yeah.
comment, it's sketch is planning, she said.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just reading it. I have two screens here. You know, I
Oh,
have one.
okay, I didn't know that
I can.
you, okay, I didn't know that that you were
It's funny that it's like it's a bit delayed, the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They are like listening like right now, like a minute ago.
Well, do you think it's a minute? Maybe 30 seconds or
I
something.
don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't know because there's a time that we are talking and they it needs to get to the people who is watching us, and then they need to think about something and then comment. So I think it's like a minute or a minute and a half, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we can like, I don't know, YouTube. It's like some the default like time, you know. It's like obligatory. There's a time that for the delay, but I think like that Twitch, it's like almost like the same time, exactly time, you know. You are commenting and people are talking.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I think it's like a minute and a half.
Mm.
Let me,
But you know, there's some nice comments there, no?
yeah, yeah, people are really commenting right now. Let me ask you, and it's about your channel. What your plans to the future with your channel? You are going to like keep doing videos? You are like going to branch into like, I don't know, make maybe Blender or something? What your plans?
Um, hmm. Yeah, it's a good question. I think I still want to continue with my beginner's course,
Yeah,
and then so that I want to really cover everything. If I mean, if possible, I mean, there's a lot to cover. You know, that will keep me busy for the next 10 years. I
yeah.
think.
And
I don't know.
I mean, you are the first one to do this, so yeah.
I saw another channel who went through like the different tools, but then he stopped somehow, and it didn't have much views. But
Yeah,
because you need to kind of, I think what is much more successful is like engage with the people.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I try to answer a lot of questions. I also try to, even like I share my script sometimes. I want to actually do that more. I want to, but it's all like I need also time to,
yeah,
because I do this like in the evenings or in the weekend, and one video, yeah, takes 3 hours. No, it's like
yeah, yeah.
you have to
I know the
record,
struggle. Yeah,
cut
yeah,
it. I mean, at the beginning, it took me much longer. The first
yeah,
videos,
yeah,
um, they took really long, but now I'm getting better. No, but so I really want to. So I want to have this on the side, and then I want to start a project. I would like to start a real but no, like a fictive project,
okay,
but something which could be applied in the real world.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I would like to start from like concept to the end, to the like planning kind of
yeah,
drawings.
yeah. Sounds
And and
nice. Sounds
and
nice.
but that means it's not just Rhino. It's gonna be a lot of different kind of software.
Yeah,
So it's like everything I use, I would like to share,
yeah,
and then see what kind of response there is. Because what the cool thing is about YouTube is also the response you get from the people. No, you learn about a lot about yourself actually when you do these videos.
Yeah.
And then people come and say, hey, by the way, have you checked this? Have you checked this and that? You could do it like this. And I'm like, yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Why I didn't thought about that?
Yeah.
Much easier, saved me so much time. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
no, but
It's,
that I had in mind that would be really nice, so that people see how I would design something from scratch to finish.
yeah. Yeah.
And something maybe like a bigger, like in that case it would be a landscape design project, because that's my profession.
Yeah, it's your thing, you know.
But it, but it would but it would include like rendering, like you know I do a lot of renderings with Blender, because there's a lot of like cool plant materials.
Yeah.
So it's like architecture, and I'm getting quite good with it. I'm getting better than with V-Ray, really.
Yeah.
So that's something to show, and it's also free software, so it's nice. And then of course how I would build that in Rhino, and how to put everything together into a nice presentation. I think that even sketching, showing some sketching skills, because sketching, again, it's not just on the paper, it actually happens on the computer directly in Photoshop. Well,
Yeah.
now I use different software. I use actually Affinity. I don't know if you know that one,
Yeah, I know Infinity. Yeah.
because I cannot afford Photoshop myself. I don't want to afford it myself.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use cracked software anymore.
Yeah. And I mean,
So
Adobe software in general are really trash, and this is like real. No, I mean for real, it's really trash, and it's almost I think Adobe as like Autodesk, you know, they are the only one. They got the monopoly into in the industry, you know, so they can throw anything to the customer and people will like pay. And for real, I think that all of the Adobe software are really trash, like bad optimized. You know, there is some flaws and things, and they drain a lot of CPU for nothing, literally nothing. You know, you are. If I open my Photoshop, they start to like, in a way, drain like 5 gigs of RAM. You know, RAM, and I'm like, why? You know, there is nothing here. Why do I need this much of RAM?
that's why.
It's
That's
it's
why.
wild. It's wild.
That's why I bought myself Affinity.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
also has a lot of issues still, but it only costs, I don't know, £50 or so.
yeah, yeah,
And for a full license forever, not a subscription, because I don't like the subscription stuff.
yeah,
I really don't. That's why I appreciate Rhino, because I also bought
yeah,
Rhino
yeah,
myself, and I bought it because I thought, yeah, that's cool. You can buy it, a license, and you have it forever. You don't need
yeah,
to. But now, yeah, yeah, that's why I have Affinity, and I bought Affinity, all the free project, like the Illustrator version of Affinity, and then the photo thing, and they're pretty good. I don't need more.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I prefer like a company that are like figuring things out and like working on the software and like really improving the software. Than a company that it's like really just wants to earn money. Like Autodesk, for example. And I mean, I don't know, but Heatherwick Studio, they signed that letter to Autodesk. Do you know that letter that a lot of like British office that
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Heatherwick signed?
I actually don't. I'm not sure now,
Okay, but I mean,
but
because
but
they're
but it could be. Yeah, I think we did that, but I don't know. I
I,
would need to ask.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm saying this because Autodesk is trash, you know. And I prefer like the company that is like to improve, you know. I don't bother if if a software is like you got some bugs or it's not it's like not optimized. But I think if in the way the company, the people are working in the project, I try to improve it. I think it's a better investment than like just buy a software because it's like the one that the whole industry use, you know, like
Yeah, yeah, no,
Revit or
I
Photoshop.
agree. I agree. I mean, of course, I learned with AutoCAD. I mean, that was the software we used a lot in China. But I totally agree. It's like every time they have an update, they just change something in the user interface. You know, the user
Yeah,
interface, but
yeah,
they never they never change the program. And then
exactly.
sometimes and then sometimes they actually losing very useful commands are
Yeah,
gone.
exactly.
And you think like, why is that happening now? Why are you doing this?
Yeah,
And then you figure out, oh, I need to buy another license to get that old command back, and then
yeah.
it's like it's yeah, they went too big and they're too rich,
They
I
are
don't know.
too rich. They are really
And
rich
they own
company.
everything. They own everything, and that's the
Literally,
problem.
literally. Yeah,
It's
that's a
they
problem.
bought Maya, they bought Revit, they bought everything. And
Yeah,
it's yeah, I don't like to use it, to be honest.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We have
And
to use it. Yeah, we have to use it sometimes because, but even I open when somebody sends me an AutoCAD file, I open it with Rhino. You
m-
know,
me, me also. I open it with the
doesn't
Rhino.
always
You know,
doesn't always work, but you know,
I did a class like last week for a student, and I was teaching Grasshopper, you know, which was our final project. And then I like it was it was digital fabrication, you know, and we
yeah,
did all the panel thing, panelization, and then we like oriented all the panels, and then we tag all of them, then we nested all that like beginner thing. And then I show him how to like export or save in this case like in AutoCAD format, you know. I just took the lines and then save as, you know, other thing, and then I saved in AutoCAD, and then I tried to open the the file, and then it was like your license has expired. Because I never use AutoCAD, you know. I never when I figured out that Rhino can open any kind of file, I was like, okay, Rhino, it's now my my software, you know.
I even sometimes fix the drawings in Rhino.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
get like I have a friend of mine. He sometimes like once or twice a year he sends me a file and says, "Hey, can you build me a quick like a massing model of that?" And then
Yeah,
and I know already because he always just draws in plan.
yeah,
Everything is drawing, but actually his lines they always like shift.
yeah.
They're always different levels, and this is also like I don't know why Autodesk cannot fix that. But I always then open it in Rhino and just
Project.
check the plane, everything is
Exactly,
fine,
exactly.
and it works again.
Do the just for, you know, purge command, you know, just to clean things a bit, and then you send back. And
Purge.
even I saw this like it's a while. Rhino, it's a really good like software to to work like as a literally as a bridge to with a software to another, you know. I
Yes,
can like
yeah,
open some ArchiCAD file with Rhino and then send to SketchUp, you know, and then use the Rhino just to, you know, open and save in another format, and then okay, that's it. And I was like, yeah, makes a lot of sense, you know, a lot of
yeah.
sense, because Rhino can Rhino, it's almost like a orgy, you know. They can connect with anyone, anytime, anywhere. You know, it's really it's impressive. Actually, it's not even saying because
Yeah.
it's impressive. You know what McNew are doing, and today actually I saw the Robert McNew podcast at Parametric Architecture. You know, YouTube, YouTube, Instagram. That
Oh
one,
no, I
it's
didn't
really
know.
so and
Send
eh,
me the link of
oh
that.
yeah, yeah, and it's really nice because you know when you are listening to the CEO of McNeil and associates talking, I really feel that I'm talking with a friend, you know, because he's really chill and he was like, yeah, people can use Rhino and can do whatever they want, like, you know, it's fine. We don't want subscription because we don't believe in that thing, you know. And it's really chill. I'm gonna send you later because it's really good, really good. It's in a way you can feel the software in that guy's mind, you know, and the way they talk,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
vision of how they well, how they envision a company, you know. You can see it in the software. It's really nice, really, really,
Yeah,
really nice, really inspiring actually.
it's like yeah, you need to yeah. I also appreciate it a lot that they didn't sold it yet. I really
I don't
and they
think he's going to sell it.
I mean it's not perfect. There's some things like the mesh modeling in Rhino.
Yeah, could be
It's
better.
could be better. There I always go to Blender because that's
Yeah,
just
and
so
I
much
mean,
better.
let me ask you. Sorry for the interruption, but I mean,
No, no.
how many shortcuts Blender have? It's a lot of shortcuts. I mean, you got a combination of keys to do everything with the
That,
with
that
Blender, and it's really impressive actually because he can do
it,
anything, anything.
that was that what I like with Blender really. When I opened it the first time, like that is a long time ago. I opened Blender and I closed it right away.
Yeah, me
I,
also.
I opened it and I closed it, and then I saw like an image. I saw like a rendering from a guy who did like a wood scene with trees and plants, and it looked like a photo, and it was
Yeah.
like, and I thought like, what? That, that I- that's impossible. It can't be. And then I saw the 3D model. So there was like these renderings where you see the
Yeah,
rendering,
yeah, yeah.
you see the white kind of
Yeah, yeah, like the pale
uh,
white image, just white and the shadows. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you just see the model, and I was blown away, and I thought, okay, I need to look at it again.
Yeah.
And now actually I have to say that the user interface is much easier now. It's much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has a lot of shortcuts. It's true, but that makes it very fast. The
Yeah,
modeling,
yeah. I mean, it's
so you
faster
get
than you than like searching for the thing in the interface.
the only thing I don't like with Blender is that they update it every I don't know every month. There's an update, and that's cool. It's cool in a way, but they always change something in the user interface,
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you cannot find it anymore, and then you need to relearn it. Where is it? And
Yeah.
sometimes they change one of these like shortcuts, and you think like, come on, why did you change it?
Yeah,
Don't,
exactly.
I mean, you can then always go back and you can fix it yourself and then change it back, but
Yeah,
that's the only
you don't
thing.
want to do this like every month, you know? You want
It's
to
like,
like use the thing for a year and then maybe change something, you know?
well, now they have this, which I find good. They have this one stable version which they maintain a whole year or so,
Yeah.
which I find really good. And then they have their updates, but they have this one version where they always like they make it really good, and they keep it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That I think that's better.
Yeah. I downloaded Blender for a photogrammetry like job, and I was like I was doing all the site and the buildings for the Hyperloop project here in Brazil. Yeah, the Hyperloop, the same one as as the guy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm not going to model this entire thing. I'm gonna use technology to do this. And I was like, yeah, photogrammetry, because I was looking at Twinmotion, and they are trying to implement this kind of thing to the software. And I render with I do my renders with Twinmotion, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try it. And then I searched like something in YouTube, like, I don't know, architecture, building, site, photogrammetry, and then boom, Blender. And I was like, yeah, Blender should work. And then I downloaded, and then I opened, and I was like, okay, back to the video. And then I was just like following the guys, mouth, the cursor. And then I was like, damn, it's really hard. It's really hard. I mean, for the beginner, it's like hard, but you need to put some time in the software, in the tool, to learn and know how the things work. But I follow some Instagram accounts with related to Blender and Blender modeling, and then when the video goes into my feed, and I saw what you can do with Blender, I was like, you kidding? You kidding? You kidding? You can't do this. You are making this shit now, and I was like, how you can do this with Blender? It's like everything, like even, I don't know, simulations like water and things to, I don't know, retopology, some mesh or something. I was like, damn, it's really, really,
Yeah.
it's a really great software.
I tried the water simulation. Actually, I wanted to make a video, but the problem is it takes so long to render.
Yeah.
It's like, I would need like I don't know, 3 days or so to make a really nice
Yeah.
render.
And I mean, people to do this kind of simulations, like fabric or like hair or something, like clothing, they go to Houdini, because they
Yeah,
say
yeah,
it's better for this kind of simulation or animations in
yeah,
general.
yeah.
But I
Could
mean,
be.
Blender, it's good also. It's not like bad. I mean, you can.
Actually, I use it for my 3D modeling a lot.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
my 3D printing, 3D
Oh
printing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you're gonna grab it 3D. Okay. Damn. Nice.
You can
Nice.
do really quite. That actually did with a cloth modifier. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
basically created this like basic shape, and then I just marked these like lines, and
yeah.
then you have a tool where you can inflate these things.
Inflate. Yeah, yeah. I saw one of this kind of tool. Oh, that's look good. Looks good. Yeah, nice. It's like
That,
a vase or something for flowers.
yeah, yeah, but it doesn't work because the problem is the material. It doesn't. The water
Oh,
goes
oh
out.
yeah, 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 yeah.
The 3D the PLA is not
Yeah.
waterproof.
Looks nice though. So,
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
nice as a
looks
as a
nice.
prototype.
Yeah,
Prototype.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But no, I mean that if you try to model this in Rhino, it's gonna be a difficult.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah, it could be. If you're really good, then you can do that as well. But
Yeah, but I mean that inflate thing, I think it's harder in
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
Rhino, Yeah, I mean you could like grab a control point and then like pull it, but I don't know. I don't know.
mm,
Blender should be easier. Okay,
yeah.
I gotta.
There's some interesting discussion there in the. Someone said he's working on Archicad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Uh,
I mean I would say it's always it depends a bit on what you do, because if you do like, let's say, if you do plans and technical drawings, then I wouldn't do it with Rhino probably.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
Revit, okay, then we again it with Autodesk,
yeah,
but Revit is in that case much more efficient.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Uh, Last question, just because I promised Fabio that I would ask for him. He asks you, what would you guys suggest as an alternative to being integrated with Rhino? Is it possible to have parameterized components as in Revit? So yeah, I mean, you could use Visual Arc because it's like
Yeah.
Beam for Rhino. I think it's the easiest one.
Yes, I would. We actually used some of the components.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah. So, well, in the studio, it's very open. I mean, we use a lot of different software, and because we have a lot of, we have people from very different backgrounds working together, and some of them they are better in that software, and the other one is better in that software. So, uh, one of my colleagues, he loves no, what's the name again? You said it just
Visual
now.
Arc.
Visual Arc. Yes, he's using it. He's using it a lot. So yeah, I would say that would be an alternative, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest like the easiest one to do
Yeah.
this change from being software from, I don't know, Revit to Rhino or ArchiCAD to Rhino. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Philip,
There's
it's
no other.
it's been great talking to you. For real, for real. I mean, you are really really nice, great guy. You are really, your portfolio is awesome. It's like excellent, for real, for real. It's really it's really nice, and even like share some experience and some ideas because we got different backgrounds and we live in different parts of the world, so it's really nice even for us, for the Brazilian community, to know a bit about what you are guys doing at, not only at Heatherwick but like in Europe in general, and as you said, like China also, because you lived in China. There is people already like thanking you to come to the interview, and that's how I would like to, in this way, that's how I would like to end this interview, because I mean, you are really, again, you are great professional, great designer, great everything. You are really cool. I consider you a friend now. Not now, not I always considered you as a friend since our first talk. But I mean, it's really nice that you got this. You got this time to talk
I have to.
with us.
I mean, I have to say before we stop, maybe
Okay.
I would not do an interview just with everybody
Oh,
to be. So
thank you.
because I just feel like there's some kind of. I think we have a lot of things in common,
Yeah, yeah, we talked about
and
this. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and that's why I think it's. And then also it's YouTube. We both have a YouTube channel.
yeah,
We like music.
yeah.
You
Exactly.
always I always like your music on your videos. They are pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do just an interview with any. I'm also
Thank
a
you.
shy. I'm
I'm
also very
honored.
shy.
I'm honored, to be honest. I'm
and
honored.
and
Honored.
and at the same time, I'm flattered to be actually invited to any interview. It's not
No,
every.
but I mean, with your background and all your experience and the things that you've done, you deserve more. You deserve to be at, I don't know, CNN or something. Doing interview. But I mean,
No,
it's a beginning. It's a beginning. It's a beginning. But
yeah,
no, no. But seriously, thank you so much to for your
yeah.
time to be here in the
Thank
in the
you.
channel. I mean, I'm seeing the statistics, and it's great. It's great. And Jacqueline again, he comments, let's keep the link open. Okay, so like keep
Which link?
the yeah, keep the chain, like keep the door open for our both of our
Yeah, yeah,
channels,
yeah.
like
Definitely. Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah. I
know
mean,
you already helped one of my students, and you did a video entirely about that problem, that it was like And I even when I saw the solution, I was like, even I thought something like, oh my god, I'm so dumb also. Not only her, I'm also dumb. I'm kidding. She's not dumb, okay? But it was a really genuine question. But I was
But
like, of course it was the legend parameters, you know. I was supposed to solve that thing because I know it was. Then I was like, damn, I can't believe this shit.
yeah, yeah, no. Well, I was also, I was also baffled when I saw it the first time. I was like, what can be wrong? I mean,
Yeah,
it took
everything
me a while.
looks
It also took
perfect.
me a while to.
Yeah,
It also took me a while to understand. But yeah,
yeah.
no. Sometimes it's just a very simple problem.
Yeah, yeah. It's that like really small detail that can change the entire data or something. But yeah, Philip, again, thank you
Cool.
very much
Hey,
for your time.
I wish you all the best for your channel. I know you're working really hard
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
I can see that building it up again is
yeah.
pretty tough. I'm not sure if I would like to do it again, like starting from scratch. Well, I actually do. I have this other channel, but I really wish you all the best.
Thank you, thank you.
And hey, thanks for all the nice questions and people who actually joined. There
Okay,
are quite
yeah.
a lot of people.
There's a lot of
Super
people.
nice.
Yeah,
Super
there's
nice.
a lot of people that came in like because I mean there's a lot of my students that said, well, I'm gonna be in class, so I'll watch it later. But they came to the live for a moment, and we already hit it like 18 like views. So yeah, it's been great actually. It's
Awesome.
been great. It's been great. Let me do the last. I'm gonna talk with the people here in Portuguese, okay?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
just a
For
bit.
sure.
Galera, muito obrigado por estarem aqui na live de verdade. Foi muito legal. Mesmo, mesmo, mesmo. Muito obrigado por estarem aqui. Muito obrigado pelas perguntas de verdade. Não se esqueçam de se inscrever no YouTube do Philipp. É Philipp Galvan Design. Eu vou até botar aqui no comentário. Ele tem vários vídeos sobre Ladybug, sobre Blender, sobre Rhino, Rhino Beginner. Ele tem toda uma série de vídeos de Rhino desde o começo. Ele fala sobre vários tipos de componentes, vários tipos de coisas. Eu super recomendo que vocês vão lá, assistam. Ele também tem vários vídeos sobre cozinha, sobre música. Ele é um baita do músico também. Super recomendo vocês irem lá e se inscreverem no canal dele, ok? Então é isso. Muito obrigado para todo mundo. Eu já vou encerrar aqui a live, tá? Tenham todos uma boa noite e não se esqueçam, depois ela vai estar traduzida, tá? Eu vou traduzir essa live depois para vocês. Tá bom? Um abração.